Alrighty, Frank from Lubeck Enterprises here today with a Dell Latitude E6430. I'm going to go ahead and put some RAM in here and a hard drive and get it working. Before I do that, I can't really fix the scratches on top, but something I can fix is how dirty it is on the inside. You see the keyboard's it's got some sticky stuff here from like tape, and then there's dirt all over the keyboard. So first things first, I'm just going to open it up, spray it with some air, and continue from there. So first I'm going to disconnect the battery, and then purge the power. And hold that button down, the power button, for a couple seconds. Okay, and now I'm just going to undo a couple screws here. I'm going to do this keyboard first and see what that lets me access. So there were two screws right next to the adapter for the dock. So on each side there's a screw for a keyboard. And there you go, out they come. So put these on the side, do not lose them. I'll put them right there for now. Also, before I take that off, I'm going to go ahead and just eject the disk drive there. And also put that on the side where you're not going to lose it. Well, that's actually super useful. This was in the smart card reader. Look, it's like a little tape measure. A little 2-inch one, and you got certain diameters for screws and things. That's actually really cool. So there are, of course, going to be more screws. It looks like there are two more here. It says PI on them. I'm assuming that's for probably palm rest. Or P1 or whatever it is. I think it says P1. So then once you get those screws out and take out all these little hard drives and the adapters and stuff, there are 3 more screws. 1, 2, and 3. See, one on each side of the battery lever, and then of course one next to the charge port for the dock. So just going to remove these. So now to remove this casing, it should just be to kind of pry it. Now I do have tools in my repair kit, but that's somewhere upstairs. I don't want to go up there to get it, so I just use my fingernail kind of, or what I have of a fingernail, and just kind of peel it. And ta-da, now we have access to pretty much everything. Wow, that's really dirty. So let's see what we have here. Okay. So it looks like this one here already has 2 4GB sticks in there. So that's pretty good for RAM. You got the fan here for the processor and the heat sink. This here will need to be cleaned. Got the wireless card down there, that looks fine. CMOS battery, fine. And there is going to be the display, the actual screen itself. So, let me first take out this RAM. Once again, you just kind of pull out these tabs on the side. Okay, and then I'm going to just flip it on over. Okay. I was going to try to get the keyboard off to clean that separately, but, you know what, I'm just going to leave it on there. Why make life more difficult than it needs to be? So first I'll just give it a nice spray. So actually, like usual, this fan is a little, is still like very, very dirty, I should say. So even after blowing it with air, I'm going to just go ahead and take out the heatsink and the fan there and give it a cleaning. So with these screws, just loosen it. Do the 4 screws here for the heatsink, labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to undo these 2, unclip this, and then it should just pull right on out. Should. Okay, so something to know, it's probably just going to be a lot easier to take a flathead screwdriver and go ahead and undo this adapter. And out it comes. Oh, there we go. Just gotta kind of wiggle it a little bit. And here it is. Ooh. Okay, so those screws, some heat sinks, those screws don't come out of. Apparently this one it does. So. Okay, so put that on the side. Or try to. Okay, so put those 4 screws on the side. So right here, see there's a little bit of thermal paste. I'm going to go ahead and just take that off and put more on it. I'm going to wash this fan real quickly. I'm basically just going to go take some rubbing alcohol and Q-tips and go and clean it. You've probably seen this in other videos of mine, so I'm going to spare you that and just go ahead and actually, since it's open, go ahead and just give it a little squirt. So I'm going to go clean this and I'll be back. Okay, so with the heat sink here being pretty much as clean as it can be, clean the fan. So now I'm going to clean a little bit off the processor. Now make sure you're wearing static straps, that you took the battery out and purged the power before you do this. And of course, you just let it soak for a little bit. There we go, so we go ahead and let that dry. So now I'm going to take some thermal paste here and go ahead and just put it on the heatsink. There we go. Nice and neat. Okay, so now I'm just going to flip this over and replace it. There we go. Let's go and kind of push it down and give it a little rub in circles. Kind of spread that thermal paste out a little more evenly. Then I'm just going to go ahead and replace the screws around it. Now, of course, got to plug the fan here back in. So with the fan plugged back in, we're just going to go ahead and put some of these screws back in here. Okay, so with the heatsink back in, I don't think anything else down here really needs to be cleaned. We hit it with the air spray here, so I'm just going to go ahead and, before I put anything back, I'm actually just going to turn this over and give it a little wipe down. Okay, so I'm going to use these blow-off electronic cleaning wipes. I don't know, I'm going to give it a shot here. It's also safe to use on screens and keyboards and anything like that. So now that it's all clean and dry, I'm going to go ahead and just start putting parts back in. So once again, this here already had RAM in it, which is nice, so I don't have to upgrade that. So I'm just going to put them back in the slots here. Once again, the little slot here is off more to the right than the left. You could only really do it one way. If you're trying to put RAM in and the notch doesn't align either way, you're using the wrong kind of RAM. Just do this, push down. I guess that did go over. Okay, so when those there click into place, then let me see, the hard drive and the disk drive are the only two things there I have left to do. And those can both be done from the outside as well as this thing. I'm going to take this here and put it back on. It always helps if you put it on the right way. It saves a bit of time. Go ahead and there are little tabs on the front, like little hooks. You just gotta get the front side in first and then just apply pressure towards the back. As you can see, everything just clicks right into place. So then those couple screws that are removed earlier, just gonna go ahead and replace those. Okay, so now those two there are back into place. Now I'm going to put in those three ones with the D, 1, 2, 3, and then the two that I took out because I was going to do with the keyboard. So I'll put those back in as well. Oh, those two go right here, 1, 2. So with that done, I'm going to go ahead and replace the disk drive and the smart card drive from there. The smart card tray, I should say. If it doesn't go in one way, it goes in the other. There we go. That clicks into place. The SD card adapter here. There we go. Of course, the disk drive, and of course with Dell's, at least, I mean, you could probably do it with any other laptop that has a disk drive. They have caddies where you could actually take a second hard drive and put it in something that looks like this, and it fits right in here. And I actually have that on my laptop for right now. So you just push that in, press that to lock it into place. Okay, so I believe this one here had the Dell 97 watt-hour battery. Make sure it clicks into place. And then, now's the fun part. No hard drive, so it can power on, but it's not going to boot into anything. So, give me 1 second. Okay, so I decided I'm going to put a solid state drive in here. I got this at Micro Center. They usually have sales on them. As you can see, it's the Inland Professional 128 gigabyte solid state drive. It's usually 50 bucks, but they had it on sale for 20, so I bought 5 of them. I already had put Windows 10 Pro on there at work, but it still needs to be activated. And I'm just gonna, it just has the default setting, so I didn't do anything with security related or anything like that. It's just straight up, you know, install and go. So after I put this in, I will need to activate it and then update Windows. So I'm just going to slide. So usually with the bigger hard drives, it actually fits. This here doesn't, but you can still insert it like this. It's not going to like fall out or anything unless it takes a large hit. There. See? So that's in there. I'm going to put the hard drive cover back on for right now. Oops. There we go. And you could even put a screw in here just to hold the drive into place, which I probably will do before I sell it, but for right now, it should be good to go. Let's see what we got. Now watch, nothing works, everything is deleted, and the processor's fried. And okay, so we'll give it a minute to boot up. There you go, as you can see it boots up. So in order to activate it, we have to run command prompt as administrator, of course. And I hate using Edge. I hate Edge and Internet Explorer, both to a great degree, but fine. Come on. Why somebody named their Wi-Fi network COVID? Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to want to connect to that one, or SlothNet. So just in case my neighbors are watching. So now that that's connected, I need to get the product key. Let's see, GitHub FLUBE2 Win10. And of course it's not going to come up on here. Okay, just GitHub FLUBE2. Oh, nope. See repositories, there it is, Win10. Let's see, product key, so I did Windows 10 Pro, so I'll go ahead and highlight this one, because I know the top one's the regular one, the one that I want. As a matter of fact, I'm going to right click and click copy. It's the SLMGR. I want to install product key, so IPK. And then I just copied that, so I'll just right click. And the product key is installed. It'll pop up in just a second saying that. There you go. Yay. Next we need to set the key management service. So slmgr/skms kms8.msguides.com. Did I get that right? KMS8. Huh, okay, good job me. SLMGR/ATO to activate. And then after a little while it pops up with this message here saying product activated successfully. So now that that's done, the first thing that you would want to do if you're doing this yourself is exit out of all of this. Because now, since you're activated, you have access to all the Windows updates. So what I'm going to be doing for the next probably like 20 minutes is I hit download. It's going to download. Once that finishes, I might have to restart the computer. If I do, then I'm going to come back to here. There's going to be, hit check for updates. There will be more of them. Install those, restart the computer, just keep doing that process over and over until they're all installed. Wait a minute, just because Windows is downloading and installing updates doesn't mean we can't make progress. So, first thing, Control-Shift-Escape. More details, performance, full screen. So as you can see right here, oh, I'm sorry, up there. It's an i5, 2.7 gigahertz, that there's the CPU memory. We have 8 gigabytes DDR3. It recognizes that it's a solid state drive. See, also down there, see, type SSD. Formatted 119, because it's 128, but of course you're not going to get all of that. And Wi-Fi, yeah, it works. Yay. So on to the next thing, which would be to... Okay, also I noticed the battery was giving me some issues earlier, so I want to see if it was maybe just a one-off thing or if it's actually going bad. So, let's see. So I want to run... Ooh, I'm not doing this right. Okay, so when you go into command prompt, you have to run it as an administrator. There you go. See, now it says up at the top left, administrator. And it starts you off in system 32. So we want to check the... So we'll do power CFG for power config. Instead of... You could do this battery report, but I want a little bit more information than that. And for it to show you errors and warnings with things, you type in energy, or it should say /energy space /. This isn't necessary, this is just so I don't have to go digging for it. It'll be right on the desktop. So what it's going to do, it's going to wait for 60 seconds and then it'll confirm that it's done. So we've got to wait for that. And after some time, if it's over 60 seconds and it doesn't do anything, hit the enter key. So that's not good. 6 errors, 12 warnings, 23 information. So let's see what that's about. I put it right here. So it opens up as a web page, and it tells you stuff about your system, you know, basic info. So it seems like this battery is going. It's only charging up to about 20% of what it should be. And it was at maximum, you know, it was fully charged when I started here, because I charged it earlier. So these here you could just ignore. These are just saying your processor is doing some work. Almost every time I've ever run this, I've had this pop up. There's quite a few of them too. Okay, well, that stinks. So I'm gonna leave it up to the owner, or the buyer. If they want me to put a new battery in, I'll order it for them. But I mean, that's something anybody can do themselves, and if you're gonna have it plugged in most of the time anyways, battery life really doesn't matter. So then just keep updating Windows and updating it, and then when you're all done with that, it's pretty much ready for you to just put whatever stuff you want on there. I, of course, wrote everything down here already, so I can just, you know, throw this up for sale. So, I don't know. If you want to refurbish a computer, you get one, and you just doesn't have a hard drive, doesn't have any RAM like this one, then, well, this one had RAM, but I had to put RAM in all the other ones, so that's how you do it. If you like this video, just give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. One last thing to note is, even though it says the battery can only charge to 20% capacity, it's been running for quite a while doing all the updating and everything. It's still only at 66%, about an hour 40 minutes remaining, so it's still pretty good overall.